Hey ladies and gents, we are back with some Avorion, and sorry it's been a little while, I've been busy. Real life seems to suck you in, that kind of stuff, and I play multiple games too. But we're back with Avorion. I'm going to have a video on the new changes to the economy. There's some interesting stuff going on there. I don't quite fully understand everything that's going on, just because I just read the patch notes after I uploaded the new changes, so I never got a chance to really dig into them and find out what's going on. So we're going to have a video up that here not too long. However, we're going to talk about automated mining early game. Yeah, it is a huge time suck, constantly having to mine and that kind of stuff. In an early game, you're going to be, and when I talk about earlier game, we're talking the essentially iron to neonite area. So this area in here, there's a couple ways to do it. There's two ways to do it actually. But yeah, it's usually the iron to the neonite. So you get about into the trinium level where you're gonna get into the fighters and that kind of stuff and the carriers. You can still automate it, a lot of the mining, but in this area right here, when you're first starting out, and you can leave this stuff run even when you're completely in the center of the galaxy, of course, to gather more materials. I've pulled all these ships back that I used to use. I don't use them anymore because the stuff I get in the center of the galaxy, with the mining and stuff there, where I'm taking entire sectors, all the asteroids out of them. And you'll think about it is if you mine a sector or a system, you're not always going to get all the asteroids. Sometimes the ships don't get them all, but for the most part, for the stuff in the center, you really end up getting a lot of material. So I don't really dick around out here on the outside. But like I said, we're doing this video for early game. There's two ways to do it, and this has to do with the mining lasers involved here. So we're going to look at the mining drone here first. We're going to pull him in, and this is something the very first one I ever built it didn't have any of this stuff on the outside, and it was just a square. It had, just the, essentially, these. Just had the tritium generators, crew quarters, another generator, and an engine. That was it. It was just a oblong block, a rectangle with a turret mounted on it. This other stuff I added over the time just to make it look a little bit more like my other ships. But this particular one costs about 1,298 titanium, so 1,300 titanium, about 10,000 credits. The difference between this one and the other ship I'm going to show you is, of course, the mining laser. This is a double titanium mining laser. This is not a raw. There's two different kinds of mining lasers in this game. There's the regular mining turret, which this one does right here, will mine, and it will, whatever it mines, it will process it into pure titanium. So you don't have to have it processed. The problem is you get a very low efficiency. For example, this runs roughly 14%. So every time you go up to an asteroid, you're only going to get 14% of that asteroid. However, there is a couple nice things about this type of mining drone, is you don't have, once you turn it loose, you don't have to come and screw with it or take it to a depot or run any sort of automated where you have to jump a ship out, jump it to another sector, dump off the materials, jump it back, start mining, and that kind of stuff. This will just keep mining, and that's one nice thing about it is you don't really have to do a whole lot once you get it set up. So 10,000 credits, 1,200 material, one cheap mining turret, and you're ready to go. And it's just going to start mining materials. Crew-wise, all you have to do on this ship is essentially it's 2 miners and 1 captain. So for every 3 hours, you're going to spend 15,000, roughly. So 200 here or whatever. So you're gonna run 15,200. Yeah, so you're talking 15,500 credits, whatever, every 3 hours to run this little mining drone, which isn't a big deal. I mean, what this does is free you up to go make money. Instead of having to sit there and constantly mine stuff, you're just gonna turn these little buggers loose. And when in an early game, I would drop like 6, 7, 8 of these as I went toward the center, and just come back to them and change them or move them, whatever. The thing about them, I usually run them in. I usually use the gate system. So this one will go here. When he's done mining here, I'll just move him over here in the gate system, and I'll just keep moving him. It costs me, 500 credits, 400 credits every time I got to move him through the gate system. But and I stay inside the friendly faction. I don't jump outside the faction, even though some of these places, for example, this here, they have a pretty good. If you can jump it, I don't put a lot on these ships. It has no system other than a mining system. So it doesn't have a very good jump range. That's why I use the gate system. I just move it from system to system to system. As it mines out a system, I move it to the next one in the gate system. Real simple, real easy, real cheap, real fast. Problem is, efficiency-wise, it's just not that great. And once again, this comes down to, does it really matter? Well, no, because if you're playing this and you're doing other things like raiding, getting money and all that stuff, this is just a steady chunk of change. Problem is these things are so ridiculously small, or so inefficient. Let's see here. Let's jump out, and we're going to turn him loose. And you'll watch what I'm talking about here. This is not much of a mining laser. We'll turn him on here. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll just turn him on, and he'll go after what he'll start looking for mineable asteroids. So remember, 1 captain, 2 miners, and you're going to start in the right hand over here. You're going to see when he starts mining how little material you'll get, which to the point is not a big deal. Like I said, you build 10 of these and some cheap mining turrets. Just let them go. They will continue to bring you in material. So he's found something to mine, I think, or did he run into something? Always kind of the problem with this. Come on, why don't you start mining? There we go. Sometimes it takes a little bit here. So now he's going to start. Yeah, this is kind of the problem with the whole automated thing. Sometimes is too many asteroids in one area. It's a little. They do get kind of stuck here, and this is kind of why the fighters in general are a better option. They don't have this problem when they're in. There we go. So now he's starting to mine that. And you'll notice I'm getting 5, and he'll mine for a little bit. I'll get 23. So he's only got 14% of the asteroid. However, like I said, you do this. If this thing's running for an hour, it's going to get several thousand neonite for the little amount of time. I can jump out, leave him. When he gets done mining, they'll let you know that you're done mining. You can jump back in and move him to the next system to continue to mine. Of course, you continuously upgrade the mining lasers as you go. You get toward the middle, you might want to come back and drop a couple better turrets on it. It's just a little bit quicker here. So we got 180 neonite out of that asteroid. It's going to move on to the next one, probably 200 by the time I get done. But you see, this is one of those saving things, right? This is a saving time while you would do your pirating or your trading or whatever, or making money in general or exploring. He's just going to sit out here and continue to mine away. The other nice thing about leaving these behind in several places is if you get back up into here somewhere and you want to do something back here, you can jump back to this drone, either because it's in a good system. There's you can buy. There's a equipment depot here that you want to buy stuff from. You can jump back to here, even though you're way up here. You can always come back. So it's kind of a placeholder, is used as another thing that you can use it as a placeholder to come back if you don't want to jump your ship all the way back to this point. If you decide to do something here with more trading and all that kind of stuff. So there is some advantages to that, leaving that. So this little bugger, like I said, I've just turned him loose. He'll go on and do his thing here while I'm out making my money. So that's the simplest automated mining drone. Just a simple little 1,000, 1,200 materials and 10,000 credits. And if he does, he mines out all the systems or whatever, jump back, take the crew off of it, destroy the ship, move on to the next faction. You're not like you're really out anything here. The other one, of course, has to do with the mining turret, the raw salvage mining turret here. So let's find out where he went. There we are. This is now the problem is this is a little bit more complicated. And honestly, the really only way to make this work is you have to be in the Neonite region to get it. You have to be able to have hyperspace blocks to make these kind of ships work. And we'll jump into him and look at him for what he is. And this has to do with the kind of mining turret. This is a raw mining turret. So this is not getting, it's not processing the titanium. However, you're getting a much higher efficiency, almost 70% efficiency compared to the 14%. The problem is with this, you have to have cargo bays. What it does is it processes, or it mines the asteroid, stores it in the cargo bays. And then once you get done with that, once these are full, the cargo bays are full, then you have to move it to a resource depot. Right here's one of them right there. So this ship's going to have to jump over to here. And this is what I was talking about. This kind of ship really doesn't work very well, at least the automated part of it, until you get into the hyperspace blocks. This allows you to extend the range of the ship to jump. So now he can cover a pretty good area to mine and still get back to the resource depot relatively easy. And it's pretty simple. What we're going to do here is, so there's the mining ship. That's his jump range, and what we're going to do is, of course, we're just going to pick a point. For example, we're going to have him jump to, say, this one. I'm sorry. Oh, I can't enchain the commands while I'm in it. Wow, Zem, you are totally not doing a very good job today. So, let's jump out into the mining probe. Okay, so now that, like I said, I've explained the raw salvage, and this is part of the whole raw salvage. You're going to get a much higher efficiency when you're, in fact, I'll just show you what I'm talking about. You're going to get much more bang for your buck for materials. Let's see if we can find an asteroid here relatively close. At a very it's a very quick, it's going to mine asteroids much quicker, and you're going to get a lot more material. However, like I said, these are a much more complex ship. They require hyperspace, they require more crew, they require a lot more material and money to build them. However, when it comes to actual material, these things are ridiculous at collecting, gaining minerals and all that kind of stuff here. So we're going to pull up on him. He's showing me as a mineable asteroid. System-wise, you pretty much want to put on these ships is you want a mining system, and this one has a hyperspace upgrade to increase its jump range. You can buy these at pretty much any depot, or if you're actually going to find them. So we're going to start mining this guy right here, and I'll show you like I said, this is 70% efficiency. So this is 41,000 neonites. Yeah. So we're going to break out the outer crust here, and now we're going to see. You can see the massive. You'll see the massive amount of neonites that you can get out of one of these. Oh, that's Christ. That's going to take forever. All right, let's just find one that's already broke up. Yeah, these are all encapsulated. They take a little bit longer because you got to break them up. They're much denser rock here. There we go. There's a chunk of one right there that's already kind of out in the open. And you're also going to be fighting, of course, with other miners. But we're going to pull in here. There's about 9,000 there. We'll pull in real quick here and mine this. My other one, of course, you'll see that he's gaining a little bit of material at a time. This is just a far quicker way to get the material. There we go. I think he's trying to cut me off here. Go figure. And once this is, you know, these are not as efficient, of course, till you get to like the building your own mining fighters. You're going to have less problems with this stuff. But yeah, so we just run this just real quick here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Cargo-wise, we already picked up 2,620 neonite just from that little bit, because it's, like I said, with a 70% efficiency, it works out pretty sweet. And once again, you can automate this simply by let's jump out of into the drone, and we'll look at it from this point of view here. So we're going to pick SE mining ship, so it's going to show you where exactly we're going to go to. So now that's the resource depot. That's where you have to take them. Once your cargo is full, that's where you're going to have to take it to get it refined. So we're going to jump. So there's 700 asteroids here. So let's we'll tell him to go here. Once there, he will mine, and then we will tell him to go here, and we will tell him to refine the ore, and then we will tell him to go here, whoops, and then here, and we'll do that as a loop. So he will jump since he's not mining here, he'll jump here, start mining here, go here to deposit the ore, jump back here, and return to here to mine. Or did I do that right? He is currently... Alright, I think I fucked that up. How about... Sometimes I don't always get these right. We'll go idle again here, and we're going to jump back out here to talk to him. So we're going to have him go... Usually it's better to start here. Maybe that's what I'll need to do. Let's just jump over to that position. Yeah, here we go. Use this kind of as a home base. We'll take him to that position here, and then we will enchain the commands for him to automate this. Oops. That's why. Sometimes I turn this off, especially if I'm busy doing something here. We're going to... I turn the save me on energy or to recharge quicker. So some of the other stuff, like when I jumped this in here originally, there was pirates here, so I was kind of running a little bit. So I turned the power that it takes to the hyperspace and just left it to for the engines. So you know, if you didn't know that, you can turn off individual systems. For example, this one I turned off the hype wasn't sucking energy, so I was able to, you know, escape from the baddies. So, all right, so there is the resource depot right there. So if I talk to it, it's going to tell me to. So I'm going to refine ore. Then I can give all my neonites to it. They'll take a percentage of it, and so 5%, and then they'll refine it for me, and I come back and take it later. So let's enchain that command to make this work. We are going to go, we'll pick him, we'll enchain our commands, which is going to be here, and then we're going to mine here, and then we're going to jump him over here, bring him back to here, and we're going to have him refine the ores, and then we're going to loop it. So there we go, all done. I like the triangle thing. I don't sometimes so I always do the triangle. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing here. So once it finish, once again, swear to God, I do this. I might do this like 10 times in a night. Like I'll tell something to do something, and I'm like, why isn't that working? Oh, that's right, because I'm in the stupid ship. All right. So let's make sure we shut those off again. I'll go back to idle, and then we can re-enchain the command here. So let's pick him. Yep, and we'll tell him to go there. tell him to mine, we'll tell him to jump back, and then we'll tell him to come back here, and we will tell him to refine the ore and back again to there, and we'll have him loop it. So there. So he's going to jump up there, he's going to mine, jump there to refine, and then jump back up there to start mining again. So he should be gone. Yeah, he's gone. So, yeah, he's up there right now. He is currently mining in that ship. Yeah, so we're going to leave it at that. So you get an idea what I'm talking about. This is essentially the way you automate the mine early on. This, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. That ship that we were just in is roughly that one right there. So it's 25,000 trinium, 11,000 aeonite, and 218,000 credits. Plus you figure in the system, so you're probably talking 250,000 credits to build that ship, plus 25 titanium and 11,276 aeonite. Its first cargo hold full of material will completely pay for the ship. It's just a matter of getting to this amount of material to build the ship, essentially is all it is. But like I said, this kind of automated mining is much more efficient. However, you haven't got to that point yet where you have the neonite. You can just do, like I said, with these small drones, put the mining laser on there and just let them go. They're still going to bring in material for you, just not as efficient otherwise. So that's the ship mining of it. We're going to do probably a video on the building mining carriers early game. So with that said, guys, I'll let you go, and thanks for watching Avorion videos.